Alright, so in this video I'm hoping to show you some of the more common or more useful keyboard shortcuts. These are the ones that I use the most. So there's heaps of them, but I don't want to do too many. So these are the most common ones that I use. So to start you off with keyboard shortcuts, you'll definitely need to know this guy here. This is the Command key, and it's located on either side of the space bar, one here and one there. I tend to use the one on the left side more, I think, because I'm using my right hand on the trackpad and then I use my left hand for the keyboard shortcuts. Alright, so once you know where the Command key is, to activate the keyboard shortcuts, you usually use at least the Command key and then another key. Usually hold down the Command key and then press another key to activate a particular shortcut. So let's have a look at a couple. Now I've just typed some text here on here. So if I wanted to copy this word here, I've selected the word, I press Command and C, and that is the same as going to edit and copy. And you can see there on any of the menus, it shows you Command C as the shortcut there. So you can kind of get a reminder of what the keyboard shortcut is. Go to where you would normally look for it, edit, copy, cut, you can see some there. Alright, so I'm going to press Command and C to copy, and then let's say I put it on a new line, and the next one is Command and V for paste. So I've just pasted it. I can also cut a word out with Command and X, and now that's on the clipboard and I can paste it, Command and V there. Now if I've done a bit of a whoopsie and I want to reverse all of that, it's just Command and Z, Command and Z, Command and Z, and Command and Z. It just keeps undoing all of the actions that I've done. So now I'm back to the start. So that's copy, cut and paste and undo, Command and Z. Now sometimes there's some confusion about, this is one of the main differences I saw in terms of functionality when I was changed from Windows to Mac. Apart from these little traffic lights being on the left side rather than on the right side where they usually are in Windows with the little X and the minimize and maximize, same thing, the green one will maximize the screen, the yellow one will minimize it down to the dock, so it's sitting down here, and the red one will just close the window. Now that's the main difference. In Windows, when you press that red X, it closes the program down completely. But in Mac, that red X only closes this little, the window that I have open. It doesn't close down the program that I'm running. So to close down the program that I'm running, I will need to use a keyboard shortcut, or I can click on the name of the program and go down to quit, Command and Q. So if I try Command and Q, it's going to ask me to save, and I'm going to save as keyboard shortcuts. I can tell where I want to save it. If you can't see a lot of information here, you can always click this little button and it brings up more information. I'm going to save it to the desktop, keyboard shortcuts, press save. So now that is saved. Now here's another example. I actually have Safari open. Another keyboard shortcut you can use to tell what's open is Command and Tab. And if I just keep clicking Tab with Command held down, I can toggle through all of the programs that I have open. Alright, so if I go back to my little keyboard shortcuts that I had open, Command and Tab, I can see now that I've got Pages open, Finder and Safari. And if I toggle to Safari and let go of my command, now I'm in Safari. If I toggle to Pages and let go, now I'm in Pages. So you can use that little shortcut too, Command and Tab. So just again, to close Safari, and I know I'm in Safari because it says Safari at the top here, if I want to just close this window but leave Safari open, I press Command and W. That closes the window. But you can still see, even though this is another program here, I still had Safari open. I'll try that again, Command and W, but Safari is still open. So that just saves the computer from closing down and reopening a program when really all you want to do is close down that one window. If you leave the program running, it can drain on the memory and the battery life, so it's best to Command and Q and quit. Now you see it says pages. I've got pages open there. Command and Q to quit. Command and W just to close the window. Now, sometimes you might get, instead of a mouse, a little rainbow wheel, or sometimes called a beach ball. That means that the computer's doing some kind of thinking. It's a bit stuck. You don't see it very often, but if you do have a lot of things going on, it can sometimes happen. If you get to a point where you cannot get out of it, you can't click anywhere, you're all kind of stuck, my recommendation is to do what's called a force quit. There's a couple of things you can do with a force quit. You can click on Finder, and then you can click on the apple and go down to force quit. Or you can do a keyboard shortcut to do that. And the keyboard shortcut to force quit is the Command button, then the Option button, and then the Escape button. So that's Command, Option, and Escape. If I press all of those three, I get this little force quit. And I can force quit out of Pages. So I select Pages, I press force quit. Ask me, do I want to force quit? Yes, force quit. And now that quits that program altogether. You'd only do that if it's stuck and you cannot click any red dots or anything like that to normally quit. It forces it closed. It can cause issues, but it's like a last resort. Can't get out of it, I can always force quit. And the last two I wanted to show you was saving and printing. Now, saving and printing, depending on the program, but let's say you're on the internet, in Safari, or in Pages, or in Word, or PowerPoint, or whatever, Command and S will save. If it's the first time you've saved it, it'll bring up the Save As box, and you'll have to give it a name, but generally speaking, I can be typing away here, press Command and S, and now it has been saved. Printing, Command and P, and you'll get a selection of printers there, and you can press print. Don't have any printers at the moment, so I can't print, but that's how you get it up. Command, P, print. Alright, there's a whole bunch of keyboard shortcuts like that, but they're the main ones that I use. The only other thing I wanted to show you was actually on the keyboard itself, and I wanted to show you three things. Over here on the left hand side next to the Escape button, I've got my screen brightness. At the moment it's maxed out. I can go down, up, down, up. I can go right down to nothing and right up to super bright. So that's your screen brightness. Then that's F1 and F2. If you go across to F5 and F6, kind of looks like brightness, but what it actually is, it's the keyboards, the keys themselves. They will light up so that the letters are seen in the dark. Very handy if you're working in, in a dull or dark environment. So much so that right now, because I've got lights in the room, it won't allow me to put the keys on. But that's how you go up and down with the brightness of the keys. And then over at F11 and F12 is your volume. You've got loud and soft, and then the third one on F10 is mute. So that's a little bit about the keyboard and some keyboard shortcuts.